Hey, it's Adele from Let's Get Inky, and I have a ginormous haul. This is a collective haul. There's from, I think, 3 or 4 or 5 different arty places here and there. And I've actually had some of these things since the start of January 2019. So I haven't bought this all in one go. I've had them sitting, just waiting to haul them in a video because I like to show you guys what's available out there. Just so you know, none of this is sponsored. Bought it all with my own money, full price, and none of the companies have any idea that who I am or what I'm filming. So first up, I think I have found Notebook Piece. This is the most beautiful paper I've ever felt in my life. This is a Clairefontaine notebook. I got it from Officeworks here in Australia, and the paper is really crisp and white, which I prefer for my journals, but it is so smooth and there's barely any ghosting. So all of this was done with a fountain pen, and it's not bleeding through. It's just lovely paper. So if you're in the market for a new notebook, they weren't too expensive. I think it might have been a 2-pack for 25 or 20, so probably $10 to $12 per notebook, which when you compare it with the other, you know, what word am I looking for? The other fancy notebooks, or the other, like the Moleskines and things, it's pretty on par. So that's very nice. So I'm going to do some pen tests if I come across pens, which there are a lot of pens, so that you can see what they write like. So that's from Officeworks. Let's do Officeworks first. So these are my ballpoint pen of choice for now. They're just a basic black clicker pen, so I needed some of them. But I have just made an order on jet pens because I may have caved and got a Hobonichi for Christmas from Aaron. So that's coming along with a couple of pens from Jet Pens, so I'll do a haul of that once it comes as well. My favourite pen that I use in my scrapbooking for journaling and also my Traveller's Notebook videos are the Pilot G2 in the 0.7, so I got some more of those. As you can see, I couldn't wait and I got into that haul beforehand. Then I thought there was another colour too. I think I bought another colour. There's some more of those because I went through a stage where I couldn't buy the multi-pack, but I didn't realise they had colours. So I'm trying the pink, which is, oh, that's pretty. That's a really bright pink colour. If you're in the market for different colours. So like I said, these have been purchased, like these Officeworks things I think were 2 or 3 different trips to the shops across several months, but I'm just combining them all in one go. I actually bought these for Archie, but I think I'm going to temporarily steal them and maybe do a process video trying to use them. So it'll be interesting to see what they're like, see if I can use kids craft supplies. Let me know if you'd like to see that video, if there's any other kids craft supplies that you'd like me to use. So I think that's all the Officeworks things. Then I went to Eckersley's, which is, if you're not from Australia, it's a fantastic art supply store that stocks some really great quality products. And I got a couple of Tombos in different colours. This is, it's a not usual Adele colour. It's kind of like a zesty yellow green, but I'm branching out and I thought they look pretty together, so that's why I got those. My favourite paint pens of all time are the Posco paint pens, and I was running low on those 2 colours, so I got those. Then I tried a new pen because I needed to write on some glass for a wishing well. I think I might do this one on this paper just because I don't trust it. I have used it already and it worked beautifully on the glass, and it's a, let's see, Molotow, the original liquid chrome 20 years edition, but it worked really, really well on glass. So if you need that for any reason, and it's very, very shiny and metallic-y. And I also grabbed a fountain pen by Pentel. See what this is like. Ooh. It has a bit of kick-off. Yeah, it's spraying a little bit. Yeah, I think that one will take some practice as to how heavy I can put my hand, because I don't know if you can see that some of the letters have a bit of like splattering, which I didn't mean to do. It was not my intended look. By the way, this is going to be a very long and pen experimenting chatty video, so if you're not a fan of that, this might not be the video for you. But I love watching people try pens, because I think this way, rather than just showing what you've got, you actually get to see if it's a pen that suits the style of the way you write, and if you'd actually be able to use it or like it. So they were from Eckersley's one trip, and then I went on another trip, and I'm very lucky that I have one locally. It's a little dangerous having it so local, but I do like it. This is by Tombow, and I cannot read Japanese, but it's called Calligraphy Pen, and I know it's black one end, grey the other. I haven't actually tried it yet, so all of these supplies have just been waiting for me to use them. So let's see. Oh, that's lovely. That is my idea of a perfect brush pen for doing little writing. And as you can see, there's no bleed through, barely any ghosting, which surprises me because it feels really inky. Let's see. Ooh, grey. Grey is not something that I have experimented with before with brush markers, but I like it a lot. So that's definitely going to be popping up in some journal with me videos. Like I said, I cave, and Aaron asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I had a think, and I decided to go with the Hobonichi, which I know a lot of people say that it's quite expensive. Planners in Australia are expensive, full stop. So it wasn't that much. I think it worked out as could have been 52, but was that US dollars? Could have been US dollars, and then converted, maybe it was $90. But a lot of the planners here are like $70 is quite not an average, but an average price for a higher tiered planner, I guess you could say. And so I decided that's what I wanted for Christmas this year. So I think this might be fun to use in there. Then I have a feeling maybe Aaron bought these and I may have stolen them. We'll see if he notices. But these are some Pitt Artist brush pens in black. And I might just speed up and do some pen testing of these for you. Some of these went a little bit funny. This one had a hair on it. One of them had a hair on it, so it went a bit weird. But this one was almost drying out as I started using it. I haven't opened these yet, and they're only from a couple of months ago, so they should still be working. But overall, they're okay. I think they'll get. I need a bit of getting used to with the different tips. This SC one was, oh no, the SB one was quite difficult for me to work out. So I got those. Then these are my all-time favorite. Oh, we're very dark all of a sudden. It's better. These are my all-time favorite pens but they're a little pricey, and so I generally stick to the cheapy Pilot G2s because these are about $4 each, and these are upwards of 10 to maybe 15, but they're very nice to work with. Yes, they're very nice. I usually get the 0.2. I used to use them a lot when I was scrapbooking, and then I found the G2s and they were a cheaper alternative, and I thought I would try them again. So this is the 0.2, which is probably my favorite width. Oh, and I should show, still, oops, no bleed through whatsoever, which just blows my mind. Next, ooh, what do we do next? So then I got some paint pens, which I'm not going to try in here because I won't be using paint pens in there at all. I thought I would try some of the Liquitex ones, and I have to say I'm not a huge fan, and I think it's because they have a chisel tip rather than a pointy tip, which oops, that's not even in frame, which I'm used to. They're very, very wet, which is great because they're quite saturated. They're a little bit streaky, and I don't know if that's just because the tip is different than what I'm used to, but I got the pink, and then the red, I've given it a really good shake. I did try these before filming. The red seems really watery, but that could just be my one. And then, so do they have colours, names? They don't seem to have numbers or anything, but that's red. Oh, there we go, magenta, this is crimson, and this is cobalt blue hue. This is a really nice blue colour, but you can see what I mean. It's a bit streaky. It kind of makes me feel like I'm writing with a permanent marker, and so I think that's also something that I will have to get used to a little bit. So they're the Liquitex paint pens, and I thought I would try a new white paint pen because these are my all-time favourites. The Sharpie water-based white paint pen, but I like it in the extra fine, and they've discontinued the freaking extra fine. Why? I don't know, because I would buy billions of them. So this is the medium, which is still the same paint inside, but I just really like that. You're not going to be able to see that, eh? I just really liked the extra fine because it was really good to do writing in my journals, and now I can't use it. So I found this one, and it's very fat. I must have bought this before I bought the other ones, and so you're not going to see this either, but it seems to be quite opaque. We'll see how that goes. I'll have to give it a try in a journal video. Also got, it actually smells quite a lot actually. Ooh, yeah, that's a stinky one. It doesn't, these don't usually smell. I got some Posco paint pens. I got a couple of fluoros to play with, pink and a yellow, and then just a few of my usual colours to top up my supplies. I grabbed a couple of gouache paints because I haven't used them before, and I have a feeling they were on special at the time. They're still ridiculously expensive, but I did grab Opera Rose, Flame Red and Zinc White, so I'll use those soon. I have been wanting to do acrylic pouring since it became a bit of a trend, and I didn't get on the bandwagon, but I did buy some pouring medium at the start of the year and just forgot to do it, or I knew it was messy, and then I got pregnant and things just went out the window. Plans for this year went out the window a little bit, so I grabbed some pouring medium. So let me know if you'd like me to experiment with that in a video. This isn't from Eckersley's. I don't know where I got this from, but it was with all of this haul things. I think this was actually from my local scrapbooking store, which has since gone out of business, but I'm sure you'd be able to find it online if you wanted to. It's some black modelling paste, which was a little pricey, but it'll be fun to play with black, because whenever I've tried to add black paint to white modelling paste, it always goes grey, because there's so much white in the modelling paste, and if you add too much black paint it goes too watery and it doesn't have that thickness that modelling paste should have. So this will be fun to do something different with. So that's all of the Eckersley's things, just double checking. Yep. Then I went for the first time to Muji, because we don't have one of those stores up where I live. There's one in the city in Sydney, which is about an hour and a half without traffic away, and boy oh boy do they have some good stuff in there, but alas I couldn't look around for long, and so I just went straight to the stationery section. I grabbed two of these. They are a undated monthly notebook, just like this, A5 sized, and the sole reason why I got this was to create some junk journals. I'm hoping to put together some little junk journal kits, so you might see some of these bits and pieces in those coming up soon. And then everyone always talks about the Muji pens and how fantastic they are, and so I thought I need to try them. So I got a range because I wasn't quite sure what was what. They don't seem to have any number or anything on them. This is a smooth gel ink ballpoint pen Nock type 0.5 Sakura. So I got a couple of those in different colours, and then a couple of these ones, and then apparently one of those. So I might just speed up and do a little pen test and see what I think of them. Overall, I like all of those pens. They're all lovely. I don't have a lot of coloured pens in my stash, so it's quite nice. They're all 0.5s, I think. But yeah, I don't have many coloured pens in my stash, but they all wrote beautifully, and I doubt any of them bled through. So tick of approval. And they were cheap. They were really, really cheap. Only $1 or $2, which was incredible. So that was from Muji, and then I have a few paints that I bought from Riot Art and Craft, which is another art supply store here in Australia. It has a lot more children's craft as well as artist grade paints and supplies, and they had a huge sale, and I think these were at least 50% off, if not more. And these paints, I've tried one or two of them before, and I really like the consistency. So I got blue black, toning grey pinkish, cobalt turquoise light hue, and Naples yellow reddish. Very interesting names, but I really want to do a large canvas painting. I've done a couple, yeah, over on my Patreon, and I'd really like to do an abstract landscape in these colours. I have the canvas ready. I have like a 1.5 metre wide canvas, so I'm thinking of using these colours for that. And then the final things are all from, now let me make sure that I pronounce it right. It's called Kino Kuninya. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a ginormous bookshop and stationery store down in the city, and if you're a Sydney person, or if you're around where I live on the Central Coast and you love books and stationery supplies, it is worth a trip down. It is heaven. And so all of these goodies are from 3 separate trips down to Sydney. So I didn't get these all in one go. A lot of them I bought like 1 or 2 of them and really liked them, so I went back and got a couple of extra ones. So first off, we'll start with notebooks. Violet has been asleep this whole time and I am quite surprised. I might zoom you out a little bit. There we go. And I will show you. Like I said at the start, this is a bit of a long, chatty, put on in the background while you're doing some other stuff kind of video. If you do like these videos, I hate to plug myself. I really hate this part of my job, but if you like longer, chattier videos, I have a Patreon where I do videos that are different from the ones I do on YouTube. They're longer, go into a bit more detail, have multiple pages or process videos in one video. So the link's always in the description if you want to check that out. Oh, I cringe at myself. So then I got a few different things. These are the inserts that I use in my traveler's notebook. I get asked a lot on my journal with me videos here on Let's Get Inky what insert I use, and I just use the 003 from the Travelers Company, and that was $7.50. So this is just the blank one. And then I got these on one trip, and I love the paper so much that I went back and got the notepads another time. But these are from Rhodia, and they're 96 pages, 48 sheets, and it is such soft graph paper. I do like a grid notebook. So I think we bought one for Aaron and one for I, and we are yet to use them because they've been in a bag under my desk this whole time. These were bought, I think, on my birthday trip down to this bookshop. That's what Aaron and I did for my birthday this year, because we're a little bit nerdy like that. And our idea of a perfect birthday is to spend it in a bookshop and stationery shop. So I got those. They're nice and chunky, and I think they'll be really handy. I've got a project that I'm working on that I need to draw things out, plans out, so I'll be able to use that. Another time I bought these, which I've never heard of before. The brand is Luddite, I think. 64 pages, and it was $4.50. It is a section notebook to control the time, and it was another really nicely touchy-feely grid paper, but I bought this to use in some junk journals. So my plan is to take this one apart and to use in junk journals. And then I also bought the same brand. This is the Visualizer, which I thought was something a little bit different I hadn't seen before, so I plan to take that apart to use in some junk journals and some kits that I might be putting together this year. And then this is the giant version of that. This would have been really, really, really handy when I was a teacher and I needed to track assessments before things got very computery and all online. That would have been very, very handy. Then this is the large version of the Rhodia smaller graph book. Do you say graph or grid? I use them interchangeably. I don't know if one of them, I think in America, do you guys use graph more maybe, and we might use grid more? I don't know. But I am planning on taking this apart for junk journals. Same with this one. This is by Murray Man, and it's a report pad, 50 sheets A4. This has a really pale grid. I don't know if you can even see it. It's a really pale blue grid, and then it's blank on the back. This one, like I said, these were bought over a couple of trips. This one is Rhodia, and it was $10, and it has double-sided grid paper. And then, just for something different, not grid, this time it's dot. So I bought the dot one as well. So I'm really excited. I'm in the market to make another junk journal. I'd like to make a larger one this time, so I plan on using some of those bits and pieces. Oh, I forgot. I bought this at Officeworks. That was left over from before. It's the Liquitex brand. It's a great cheap alternative for paints. You get a really large amount of paint for a good price. Back to Kinokuniya. I went a little bit fountain pen crazy. I hadn't had, my friends bought me a fountain pen, and I also got one as a gift from a parent at school, and I really enjoyed using them, but it's not something that I know a lot about, and so I don't want to buy an expensive one. I'd rather just have a play around with some cheapies to start off with, to see if I like writing in coloured ink, because I haven't really done that before, and also to just see what thickness I like, because they come in quite a few widths, these cheaper ones. So I've got a few different ones, and I have found my favourite. I have a favourite, and it's cheap, which I like. So the one that I like the most are these ones. So these are the Platinum Preppy, and this is the black or the fine 0.3. And I've been using this in my bullet journal, so that's what all of this was written out with. And it's a bit of a paler black than the Pilot G2 that I'm used to, but I really enjoy writing with it. It's nice and smooth, and I think the 0.3 is the perfect width for me personally. It comes in a couple of sizes. I bought the 0.3s in a few different colours. I did buy a blue as well, but I'm not sure where that one has gone, and they come with that coloured ink, and I am excited to have a bit of a play with these. I'm pretty sure they come with that coloured ink, because this is what fooled me before. I thought another one came with that coloured ink. We'll see if it comes with that colour. Actually, let's open one now. Let's open the purple, and we shall find out. Actually, I'll open the purple. So there was another fountain pen that I bought that you'll see in a moment, and I thought that it came with different coloured ink because it had a colour on the package, and it didn't say anywhere on there that this way? No. How does one do this? Oh, here it is. There we go. So you just pop that in, screw it back on. I'm going to do this on a separate paper because it does get a bit scratchy until, oh, it comes through right away. Yay! I was right, it comes with the colour. I was a little worried there. These are beautiful. Now, if you're like me and you've never really picked up, oh, I spelled that wrong, a fountain pen before, but you'd like to experiment with them, this is a great starter, I think. So it's the Platinum Preppy. And then I also got the black in 0.5 and 0.2 as well. I'm not a fan of the 0.5, it's a bit too thick for me. I haven't tried 0.2 yet. I also picked up this one, which is Tradio. I definitely think I'm not pronouncing that right. Pentel Tradio Stylo. And this one writes quite nicely as well, but it's thicker. I don't know if this is actually a fountain pen. I don't think it is. This is just a nice juicy pen. This is very dark, which I like. I like when I write with black pen for it to be very black. Then these ones I wasn't a huge fan of. These are, I think, $8.50. These were $10.50. And these are the Uli Splendid pen. Whoopsies, we've lost Man Overboard. I'll have to get that somehow later. That's for future Adele to worry about. These were pretty good, but I wasn't a fan of this colour. I was expecting it to be a brighter pink, and it wasn't. It's kind of a dirty purple colour, so that's different. And I think these only came in one thickness, but they do come with 2 refills, which is, I guess, a better deal than the platinum Preppy ones. This is a really bright colour. Maybe I just got a dodgy one with that pink. I just feel like this blue is really, really bright, and that pink should be brighter. I might change the ink over and see if it's just me, which it very well could be. These ones I think I was most disappointed about, because on the packaging, these are Kikuno Pilot in the medium, and it says soft violet medium. Nowhere on there does it say that it comes with black. It says it comes with fountain pen, Pilot ink cartridge. It might say it in a different language somewhere on there, but I was expecting that it would come with blue ink and violet ink, but alas, it's black. And I feel like this one is a little more bleedy. It's not as sharp and crisp as the others, but lovely. It feels very nice, and the lid makes a very satisfying clicking noise. But yeah, they weren't my favourites, and they were the most expensive. They were $23 each, and still none of them bled through. Then I got this is the last little lot. You guys deserve a pat on the back if you stayed for this long. It's an epic video. I got some brush pens and other pens. These are, you've seen them, we use them all of the time. They're my favourite white pen, the Uni-Ball Signo Broad White Gel Pen. They're $5 each, and they're the best that I have found. They did have a dodgy batch, I feel, maybe earlier in this year or late last year, and I know a lot of people experience the same thing. They were just running out a lot quicker and going streaky, but I think they've changed it, because all of the ones that I've bought in the last 4 to 6 months have been perfect. So I bought a top up of those, because I do go through those very quickly. This is now is this Pentel as well? Yep, Pentel Touch. And this has a really, let me zoom you in a little bit. Zoom. Running out of room on my pen test page. I don't think I've ever needed 2 pen test pages in a book before. So this, it's a nice brush pen. Got the shakes a little bit at the moment, but it's a lovely, it's kind of firmer brush pen than some of the other ones that I've played around with. This is a random pen that I found. This is a Uni-Ball Signo in a Clicky pen, 0.38, and it was hot pink, and I couldn't resist. Ooh, that's hot. Uni-Ball Signo. That will be very, very fun to do some journaling with. I grabbed, I have a couple more of these touch ones. Squeeze them in down here. Oh, I can hear Violet starting to wake up. She might come and make an appearance at the end of the video if she's in a good mood. And then the others are brush pens, so I'll just quickly put them on here, I guess. Oh no, I'll start a new page. Let's start a new page. Now, I have been wanting one of these for a really long time. I think I'll go on this side just so that I can see if it bleeds through. Not that I think any of these are. This is the Zig Clean Real Brush pen, and this is the black, I think. Now I have got the shakes at the moment, which is probably the worst time to do pen tests. Clean colour, that's what they're called. Clean. They're very, very nice. I think it'll just take a little bit of getting used to because it's quite a fine brush tip as compared to the Tombos, which is what I'm most used to. So I got a black and a pink, and I have actually ordered a few more in my recent Jet Pens order, which is on its way to me soon. These were something I'd never seen before, but oh boy, the colour peeps. It's vibrant. So these are Pentel, all of these magical Pentel things that have been hiding away. My phone is making noises in the background, giving me updates from Archie's daycare today. So this is called it's written in, I think, Japanese, but it is a, oh here we go, colour brush. I think it could be called a colour brush, but it does have some writing there which I'm unable to read. But the colour of this is just, look at that peeps. It's very wet. So it will be interesting to see if that bleeds through. I don't know if it's just this one in particular, but it seems to be very, very juicy. What did I say they were called? Colour brush. Yes, they're very, very liquidy compared to the Tombos and the Zig. And then I also grabbed this one, which is a nice turquoisey colour, and the black. They're quite I think it would be difficult to do fine writing with them. They're very smooth, and they also, because it's a soft tip, which I'm not used to writing with, take a little bit of practice to get the hang of it. This one is also a Pentel, and this is the Sign pen, which I think I've had before. And it's just a nice kind of felt tippy type. It's very hard, so I don't think you could make it into a as brush strokey as those are. And then this last one is one that I'm not a fan of. It is the Copic. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but I'm not a huge fan of this one. It's a bit too soft for how I like to write, and a little brushery. You can see the brush strokes a bit more. I think I have one more set too. Alright, one last set. So I have a couple of new sets from Staedtler. These are the double-ended watercolor brush pens, and oh, I haven't showed you this other project I've been working on. I made this little traveler's notebook insert over on Patreon, and I worked through doing a bit of brush lettering on there, and I used these brush pens a lot over on there, and I've really been enjoying them. Sometimes I like to outline them with my Pilot G2, other times I just leave them as is, like this center page, and they're a really great set, like price comparison wise to pens such as, or markers such as the Tombos. They're a lot more affordable, and you get a lot of range of colors as well. So I'll show you. This is one of my favorite colors. So you've got a smaller tip at one end, and then the brush is what I like to use the most. Actually, I should probably pick a color that is darker so that you can actually see it on camera. Let's go this way. Well, I always pull the wrong one. There's pictures, but I always kind of pull the wrong one. So they're a great gift for yourself, or a gift for someone that you know that likes brush lettering or wants to get into it. I think they're actually my favourite brush pens that I've played with. I've played with quite a few different types, and for the way that I the style that I write in, I think that these are my faves because they don't go feathery as quickly, which is nice. And then I also have these. I think there's a couple of those have made their way in here, which is why this isn't closing. But these are the double-ended fibre tip pens, and they have a slightly different tip on them. So these ones have the same pointy fine tip on one side, and then on the other side they have, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of like a cone shaped tip. And so it has been a bit of a shift because I'm so used to the brush tip on the other ones. They have been a bit of an adjustment for me to get used to, but I really enjoy using them as well. I find with these the nib is a lot harder, and so you're able to get thinner little lines as well. So these are another great set if you like brush lettering, and if you like brush pens that aren't too floppy. I struggle with brush tips like these ones, or that other one that I had before, the Copic, which is very long and thin and flexible. I much prefer a harder tipped pen. So there are those ones. That's a 72 pack, so I don't think there's any more colours available. There's so many in there. And then the last ones that I got, which I haven't had a chance to really have a big play with yet, are these, which are their calligraphy pens. Now, I am not a calligraphy expert, but they have the hard, flat tipped end on that one, and then they have a smaller version of that on the other side. So these, I do not know how to do calligraphy. Yes, I definitely do not know how to do calligraphy. It is something that I would love to try, but I had a set when I was younger. Yes, that's definitely not a calligraphy lesson. But they're fun if you want to get into calligraphy and look up some tutorials, because I cannot show you calligraphy. I can show you brush lettering, but not calligraphy. So they are all of the different pens that I bought. There's a lot. I predict these bled through because that was very wet. I actually had to get out my heat gun and dry that. They didn't. What? This is magical paper, I'm telling you, peeps. And like I said, I'm not endorsed by this notebook or by these. They're ones that I have enjoyed using, and I just wanted to share them with you so that you could find some new pens to add to your collection if you're interested. But thanks for sitting around for this very long video. Let me know if you'd like to see more like fountain pen play, I guess, and what you would like to see with my Hobonichi, because I guarantee some of these pens will be used in there. Would you like videos showing like a Hobonichi with me, like a journal with me type thing, or would you prefer flip throughs once a month has been done and go back and have a flip through? Let me know, because it's a type of plannering that I haven't done before. Alright peeps, until next time, buy all the pens. You only live once, and have fun with them. I'll see you very soon. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy stationery as much as I do. Alright guys, Alright guys, bye.